All right, so in this video, what I'm going to do is just show you how to make your background graphics in a sort of in a for tile maps, and I'm also going to do it as a pixel based kind of thing. Okay, so you can use Piskel if you want, just like I showed in the previous class. You could totally just make all of your tiles that way, because that totally works. And in some ways, honestly, I probably prefer that. But I'm going to show you this one just to show you something different. And in some ways, this might be better too. So you could choose Piskel. You could choose this one. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go ahead and do PhotoPea here just to help make things a little easier. So we're going to go ahead. So when you open up, it's just www.photopea.com. I'm going to hit New Project. And then I can choose my size here. Now I have to think about how wide I want to make this. So I'm picturing my, I'm going to go ahead and open up my calculator. C-A-L-C. There we go. And I got to think of how many tiles I think I'm going to need. It's better to make too many than to do too few, just so that you know. So let's say I want to do 64 is what I'm thinking my tile set will be for size, per size there. And let's say I want to do... How many squares would I want? I don't know, a bunch, I guess. So let's do that times, say, 8. What will that give me? 512. Let's do 64 times, let's say I want to do 10 squares across. So we'll do 640 by 640, okay? I don't know why I had to do that in the calculator. I'm going to leave this up because I'm actually going to need this for some other stuff. So for the size here, I'm just going to go ahead and do 640. Now this is going to somewhat limit me actually, so, but we'll do 640 by 640, and then I'll hit create, and it's going to give me this. Now the next thing I need to do is create some guides on here so that's a little bit easier to work with so that I know what a square is. This part is a little bit frustrating. So if you actually have Photoshop, it's much easier to do in Photoshop, but I'm going to do it in here just to show you. So if you go to view and then you go add guides, so in Photoshop, you can go view new guide layout, and then you can choose how many columns. So you could choose 10 columns and 10 rows with no gutter or margin. I forget what they call it in there, but that's not the option here. So I got to do 64, right? And then comma, and then we'll do 64 and comma, right? And then be 128. And then boom, 128. Boom. Okay, so you can kind of see what we have to do. So we're just going to do 64 plus 64 is equal to 128 is equal to 192. Boom. Space 192. Comma, space, and then I'm set equals again, and then it says 256. 256. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this, but you see, just do a comma and then a number. I'm going to pause it when I'm done. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so you can see this is what I did. I just did it on one side and then just copied it until I got to 640 because that was 10 across. So there are, I don't know, it's not 10, it's like, probably should be 8, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so that's what it did, and then I said, okay, and now I have these guide layouts. Okay, so now I know my picture needs to go basically in this area here, all right? I'm going to go ahead and let's make a new layer above that one. And you can kind of choose how you want to go from here. Now, you should know Photoshop already at this point. So really, there's nothing new for me to really tell you other than, you know, just to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and Control plus. I'm just going to give you a couple of pointers, and then you can kind of go from there. Okay. So I want to do platforms, right? So what I'm going to do, and I'm doing this pixel based, that's why I did 64. You want to switch from the brush tool to the pencil tool. Basically, the difference between the brush and the pencil is that the brush, when you draw a stroke, if you look, it has anti-aliasing. And what that means is that it blurs the edges to give you a nice smooth line. If you do the pencil, there's no aliasing in it, which is kind of usually what you... Come on, why are you not giving it to me? This is why Photoshop is better. Maybe I gotta hold down. Okay, that's why. Okay. And if I go like this, you'll see the aliasing. So basically, it's no blurring to make it clean. That's the big difference. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit closer here. And so For my platforms, what I'm picturing is I'll have a middle tile and outside tiles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use my rectangle tool here, and let's make sure that snapping is on. Okay, and snap to good layers. Like okay, good. So everything's snapping. I want to make sure I have snapping on just to make that work. So I'm going to go say okay, we'll have green be up to here ish. Oops. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and use my fill. Where are you, Phil? That's all, Phil. Where is Phil? Oh, it's underneath gradient, that's why. Okay. Let's choose a color. It's a little too bright for me. Okay, fill that in. That looks great. Let's go ahead and do the brown here. So I'm just going to go like this. Great. And we'll paint this with a brown color. Okay. So like the dirt, hit okay. Did the hotkeys work? Oh, hotkeys do work. Okay, there's G. Okay. And then actually, so this will be the one above. And then if I want to have more ground, I need to put those underneath as well. So I'm actually going to go all the way down here, even though I should have just put down here to begin with. And make sure to go all the way. And then we'll just hit G and paint in there. Good. Now I'll hit Control D to clear my selection. Great. Now the next thing I need to do is this. I need to go to the eraser here, and let's see. Brush. Sweet. Okay. I don't think that's actually inside of Photoshop, so this is new. Because if I do brush with eraser, you can say I get the blurred edge, which is what I don't want. But if I go to pencil tool, I can do this. So I need this edge to be rounded, like so. Well, that doesn't look very good. Whatever. And then we'll round this edge. Okay. And then over here, I'm going to round this edge. Come on. And then over here, we'll round this edge. Great. So, oops, I didn't want to do that. B for brush. Okay. So the idea here is this. Let's say this platform is just supposed to go, it's supposed to go across like 6. I would always have this on the left. Then I would reuse this middle one again and again and again until I get to the last one. And then I would use this one, my end cap one. So that's why we have 2 end caps. Okay. And then 1 middle. Now you can do multiple middles if you want, like just so that you can vary them up a little bit. That's fine. Then what I have underneath it is I need to have like a ground that would go underneath it, right? And that's just going to be a straight one. And then this. Now if this needs to go farther down, I could just reuse these middle ones over and over and over again, right? Actually, I don't even need 4 of the 3 of them. I only actually need 1 of them. So maybe I should erase this one. And then when you're done with that, I would have to have these bottom ones for that. So I could actually get rid of all these together and then just have the top and then just the bottom one. But the idea here is that way you can expand this farther along. So 9 is typically what you need for like an area, okay? Okay, so from there, we would start coloring it and what have you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go to my pencil. I'll hold Alt just to sample this. Let's make it smaller with the bracket keys. And I'm just going to vary it up. That's actually kind of annoying. Let's see if we can do it this way instead. I'm going to go to the edge here, like so. And then we'll go to Filter. I don't know what this has. Let's see, Distort, and let's do Ripple. Let's see. Let's do Ripple a little less. Oops. Oh, that's weird. It does. It's going to do Ripple, and that will automatically give it so I don't have to do it, so quickly. And we'll hit OK. Yay. A lot easier that way. Now, let's go ahead and select all this stuff in here. So I'm going to go to, I like the magic wand. I'm going to click on there, grab all that business, and then we'll go to Filter. Let's go to Noise, and let's add some noise. Let's add a little less noise. And let's do monochromatic because I don't want all that variation in there. All right. We'll go up a little bit higher like that, which doesn't look good, I know. I'll hit OK. Then I'm going to go to Filter, Noise, and then I'm going to do Dust and Scratches. And this will sort of like blur it out in a way. So let's do, let's see. Oh, it's got to lower the threshold. Wrong direction. There we go. The radius down a little bit too. And you can see, right, got a nice kind of variation in there between the two of them. I was able to break up the space. Yay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the green now. I'm just trying to do a bunch of cheats as much as I can. You probably already noticed. Let's see. I don't know if color halftone will do it. Let's see if we can do something with this. Let's do the radius much smaller. Can I go lower than 4? Can we do 2? Probably not, right? Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna help us. So hoping maybe I might be able to. No, thank you. Oh, I've hit reset. I meant to close. Okay. Filter. Let's see what else we got in here. Pixelate. Let's see. Fragment. Pointilize. I think mosaic actually might work. Yeah, we'll do mosaic. Let's make the cell size. See, I don't really like that either. But you can try a bunch of them until you find something that works. So it's up to you, kind of, to. Let's try pointilize. See if I get something. Oh, that's not good either. Cell size. Make it really. Oh, no, that doesn't work either. I got an idea. I think maybe. Oh, close this. I think maybe it uses this color, so let's just do a darker green. Let's try that again. Filter, pixelate, pointilize. Oh, it's not using that back color. I got an idea. I'm going to do a layer above. Close that out. Layer above. Layer above. Actually, let's Control C, Control V. All right, now grab that again. See if we can do it here. Filter, pixelate, pointilize. Go as small as we can. Hit OK. And then with this, I'm going to change the blending mode to screen, which will only add the lightness of it, and leave the it'll make the black transparent. Let's get rid of this guy. It's a garbage. I'm going to take this, right-click over it, and merge down. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it's not the greatest, but you get the idea. You can also just manually paint it and stuff. I'm just trying to find little cheats and things like that. So this will be good for like my platforms and things like that. So now what I want to do is Control D, and let's Control minus. So that's kind of not that great, but you get the idea. Okay, so next what I want to do is some other things here. So what I like to do is have stuff that goes on the top here that's like the grass that comes over top. So this will be mid-ground stuff, right? There's really not too much there. So when we're thinking about the player, we want to think about basically 3 levels. We want stuff that's going to be behind the player, stuff that's going to be in the same level as the player, and stuff that's going to be in front of the player, okay? So this is stuff that's on the same level as the player. So I'm going to call that good as far as the stuff that's on the same level. I'm not going to do a whole bunch just because of time considerations. So we'll say that this is on the same level as the player. So let's do something that's going to be in front of the player. In this case, I want to do little grass strands, okay? So I'm going to use just 3 right here, but I'm going to do them down here, not at the top, obviously. I'm going to sample the color here, so let's hit B, and let's sample. Okay, so I got brush and sample, and then what I'm going to do is, so you see it goes in a little bit, so I got to start a little bit later. I'm going to click here. I'm going to, click first. Oops, make sure you're above the line there. Click, and then hold shift and click and drag. And I got to go, let's say, to roughly there. That's probably good enough. And then let's do this just so I don't accidentally paint below. So I'm just going to do the selection here. And that's just so that when I go like this, see how now I won't accidentally draw underneath it. So I'm just making it easier on myself. Let's go zoom in. And I am just going to go ahead and draw some grass strands here. And you could do like flowers or something too if you wanted. Okay, this is super great. But this will be, the idea here is that this will, hopefully, this will just overlap his feet. And, you know, you'll be like, ooh, look at that. Okay, so Control D. Maybe grab this. And then let's see. Filter. Is there like an emboss? Let's see. Is there an emboss? Displace portal, distort, sharpen, stylize. Here we go. Let's do an emboss. That gave me a lot of options there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the same thing I did before. No, keep hitting that. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to duplicate it. Does Control J here work? I don't know. Let's see. It does. Okay. So with this one here selected, Just going to grab it. If I turn this one off, the other one. Okay, so I just duplicated this onto a new layer. And I'm going to do filter, and we're going to do stylize. I'm going to do emboss. Okay, and we're going to go with that. Okay, so that looks fine. I'll just hit OK. Then what I'm going to do is invert it, which, is it Shift-I? No, we'll just do it this way. Image, adjustment, and we want to do invert, Control-I, okay? Like that. Now that is over top of this layer, so what we're going to do is go to here, and I'm going to go ahead and do, I guess lighten again, or screen, sorry. And that will go over top of it, and then I'm just going to, it's a little too much though. Let's bring this back a bunch. The opacity. Let's try doing this instead. Let's do multiply, and then we'll do, let me see, opacity. Let's bring that down a bunch too. That's a little bit better. I just want to make it so it's lighter on one side and then darker on the other. Just trying to, again, find a cheat instead of having to manually paint it. So, and then while I'm on this layer too, I'm doing this all on the duplicate layer. I'm just going to delete that. So that way, because the bottom was darker, it's not going to match that. We'll say that's good. I'm just going to right click and we'll merge down. And so now that is also part of that layer. So we got that. Now what you could do also is over here is like, you know, you'd have to do the grass again, but do a little bit of grass. We'll put like a flower, and then here put like another flower, and then you could sprinkle those in as well. Okay, but you get probably, hopefully, the idea. And maybe even make more of like the middle one just so that you have more of them, so it's more varied, so it doesn't all look the same. But there you go. Okay, so we'll say this is my foreground element, and I could do more. I just don't want to spend too much time on it. Now, the other thing I want to do is this. So I might want to have things that are behind my player. Okay, so that could be things where if they're going to be inside of interior, like you could actually make some that are like a darker brown here. So actually, let's just go ahead and do that. I'll just I'm going to grab this here because maybe I'll have like a tunnel. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to Control C, and I'll just put it down here. Control V. Okay, and then I'm just going to hold hit V for the move, and we'll just snap it right there. And while I'm on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and just darken it. So I'll just do image adjustments, and let's do, we'll just do exposure. That's probably the easiest way. And I'm just going to darken it a little bit, like so. That looks acceptable, I guess. And we'll hit OK. And then I can use these blocks, like so if I want to cut in a little bit, I would use those blocks there. I'm also going to do this because I think this might be kind of neat. Right here and right here. Let's do this. I'm going to go like this. And then we'll, does this work? Oh, it does work. Okay. I'm going to cut out this like so. And then we're going to go ahead and go to select, and I'm going to, basically what I'm going to do is try and make it like the light is leaking on the inside here. I'm going to do modify, and let's feather it. Let's feather it like, I don't know, not a lot because there's not a lot there. We'll do 10. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is image adjustments, and we'll just do exposure again, but this time I'll up the exposure like so. Good. And then that way, if this is on the edge one, so we use this for the middle ones, but if this is on the edge, when you first go in, it'll look like this, and then while you're in, it looks like this, and then the other edge looks like that. Okay. So this could be a behind the thing if you're in a tunnel, let's say. Right? I don't know. So that should be fine. I probably should do ones above too, but I don't really care that much. We'll say that that's fine. Okay. So let's say I want to do something where these are all 1 square big, but let's say I want to do something that's more than 1 square. This is actually the reason why I decided to use this to begin with. So for instance, I have a back element, I have a front element, or in front of element and on element. I'm going to do another back one. I'm just going to do a tree. So to do that, I'm just going to hold Alt, or make sure I'm on the brush or the pencil, Alt. I'm just going to use this as my sample, and I'm going to make a tree. So we'll start down here. Now I could try to, I have a choice. I could try to make it into 1 or make it into multiples. I think I'm going to have the trunk actually, oops. I'm going to have the trunk fit in 1 block. Okay, and then we'll just go like this. this looks terrible. Go up. I don't know if that's far enough, but once that be like that, and like this. Imagine I'm doing a good job. I know it's not easy. Okay, so we'll say that's my tree. Let's just fill that in real quick. Sweet, must be leaks in there. Well, I see one right now. Definitely one right here. Oh, and right here. That's not good. Okay. All right, let's try. There's one right here too. There we go. There. Just gonna try and fill this all in. Come on, get in there. Let's just do this manually. All right. So imagine I did a good job. All right, now we'll do the leaves. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab. We'll do more in the bluish tone for the trees. That's too far off. We'll do it like that. Okay. Boom. And then I can just. Oops. Thought I'd click on that. Maybe I hit X instead. You go like that. I did hit X. That's why. Okay. All right. So, and I'm just gonna make sure it fits in these blocks. Imagine I did a good job. Again, I know it's not easy. Boom. Okay. And then G, paintbrush it in. Voila. Let's say that that's my tree. And then from there, I could work on making it look a little bit better. So let's go here and let's do just burn. I'm just gonna burn the trunk here. So that's not a very good burn. That's fine. Let's take the exposure down a little bit and let's do more of a blurriness. Okay, we get it. There we go. Just gonna burn this a little bit. All right, so just gonna add a little whatever here. We can add it on the inside of the tree here too. Right, so imagine I'm doing a good job. Yada yada yada, and then let's just grab the whole thing here and just I'm just gonna real roughly do what I did last time. Noise. Let's add noise. That's fine. Okay, and then filter, noise, dust and scratches, and let's see. Take the threshold down a little bit more. Okay, we'll just say that's fine. Okay, so it's kind of a specific look. And that should be a-okay. Okay, so this will be a background element, right? So I don't want to spend forever on this, but the idea here is that, like these I'm going to use as one block, but you can have them go multiple blocks. But when you go to draw it, you'll use this block, then that block, then that block. And I can even do something where if I had made this perfectly straight, which I did not, I could actually like take this trunk and do the trunk again and the trunk again and the trunk again. So if you were smart about it, you can make the tree, like I could make a branch that comes out with a, little thing on it. And then I could like put multiple branches and you can kind of work them through into multiple chunks and what have you. I just am not going to do that. But that's something that you could do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I needed to add. We drew some other elements. So like I would put also in this, I would just, I don't know, we could just say it. So just put all your background elements in here. This is not enough, right? I got enough for like a platform, kind of inside and this and that. I'm just doing a very bare minimum. You want to put everything you want to put in your scene, put in here. So if you're going to have multiple different levels where like there's a, there's a industrial level or a city level, then do like city stuff. And then maybe have a forest level and, a different worlds. Put them all in here, right? So you could do like one world as kind of a template and then be, okay, that'll be one world. And then I'll do another one and kind of do the same elements again, but now they're, whatever the other, like now it's a sand place, right? You could do that, all right? But basically the idea here is that you could do stuff that are just, like adding a little bit on top. So this would go right above this, okay? Probably should have drew it so this was farther down and this was up there just so you could see it. But anyway, this is kind of an interior. If I want, so that you can go behind that. And then this is like a thing that would take more than one item. All right. So hopefully you get the idea there. So when you're done, try to utilize all of it. I obviously didn't utilize all of it. Turn the background off because you don't need that. And then you're just going to save it. So file, export as PNG. And that's fine. You would hit, that's fine. Save. And yeah, save that. And then you'll have a PNG, and then we'll bring that PNG in, and you can do tile maps with this. Now, if you don't want to do tile maps, what you would do is just draw out your platforms like you would want them to look, right? So just draw the platform and just draw a tree. You don't have to follow this grid system, okay? You can just freeform it. There's a whole look in there of itself. I'm just trying to, there's a system built into Unity that will allow us to use a grid system, and that's just kind of what I'm trying to show you.